if I didn't start off this process of libation by acknowledging the woman, of course, who gave birth to Troy Anthony Davis. This young lady, if you will, we will say she was the chief elder of that particular family, in the sense that she was the one that made sure that if nobody else gave a damn about Troy Davis' life, she was going to make sure that her baby was always remembered. And when we acknowledge these names, we of course pour out the element of water and combine it with the element of earth, and we give the proper acknowledgement of Ashe, which is a Yoruba term that just means so be it, or so it is. It's very similar to how in hip-hop we say word. It's just an affirmation. So that particular young lady goes by the name of Virginia Davis, and we never ever want to forget that she is really the reason why all of us know about this particular case, because as I mentioned, she was going all over the place talking about this particular case when no one cared, to the point to where, simply because no one cared, it broke her heart to the point to where she had to transition and make that transition in the spring of last year. So we want to give our acknowledgement to Mama Virginia Davis. Of how the transitions of this family took place. We know that the other rock in that family was a beautiful young lady. Very beautiful young lady. Spirit was just so vibrant, so addictive. And I'm sure many of you would agree that even though the mother was the one that was holding that torch, when she passed it to the next best thing. And that was a sister that we all know as Martina Davis and Correa. And you know, again, we don't just acknowledge, you know, Troy's murder as the only murder. We hold the state responsible for the murder of every single member of that family that had to transition during that period. So don't ever forget about Virginia. Please don't ever forget about the one and only Martina Davis Correa. Ashe. And of course our brother, the one who definitely showed us what the spirit of resilience is all about. Being able to endure all of the hardships that the system attempted to throw at him, all of the technicalities, all of the lies, all of the slander. You know, when they attempted to make him lose in the court of public opinion, we were the individuals out in the streets making sure that that court of public opinion was in default. And so with that said, of course, we are all out here to acknowledge the spirit, the life, and the times of one of the warmest individuals you'll ever have a chance to encounter, whether you met him personally or whether you just met him through the mediums that promoted his name. I want to make sure that when I acknowledge this name, every single individual in this crowd acknowledges him with that form of affirmation. Let's acknowledge our brother, the one and only Troy Anthony Davis. You know, many individuals who, whether their names are known to you or not, believe me, their influence is felt far and wide. One of those individuals is right here on this shirt that I'm wearing, that being the one and only Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who was another political prisoner who was locked up in USP right down off of Boulevard when he was convicted of a fraudulent charge of mail fraud. So of course we always want to acknowledge his work on behalf of the UNIA and the continuation and the proliferation for those of us who are of the hue that is darker than blue, to make sure that we don't forget that no matter how much solidarity we form with those who are in the world, we must also form a solidarity with ourselves. Not to hate on others, but to love ourselves. So with that being said, we want to make sure we give honor and praise to the one and only Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. You, and if you feel like acknowledging some of the notables such as Malcolm X, of course Dr. King and Coretta Scott King, you can do so. But let's continue on and let's make sure that the spirit of these ancestors is felt far and wide, and so that we hold these signs, we beat these drums, and we walk these pavements, we don't get weak, we don't falter. When the sirens are blazing and the horses are coming down the street, we don't get scared. And we stay strong and we stay focused. So allow those ancestors to come into the cipher at this moment in time. Ashe. Give it up for our comrade again, Fourth World. Is everybody all right? Yeah. Did you come to rally? Yeah. Did you come to throw down? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Y'all good? yet.
All right.
We ain't good yet. Is everybody all right? Huh? Now look, let me tell y'all something. This is how we gonna do this. This ain't no damn wake. This ain't no wake. This is war, right? This is war. War is being declared on the black, on the poor. War is being declared on the 1%, the 99%, right? And we're sitting here taking bullets, right? Y'all like bullets? Y'all like taking bullets? You like getting beat down by the police? You like this American criminal justice system? Are you getting any justice in America? Is the police here to serve and protect? Are they murdering us in the street? If they murdering us in the street and you disagree with it, I need y'all to say, hell no. We ain't having it no more. I had to make it rhyme. Today we're here to honor our good brother Troy Davis. It hurts me to my heart because of the fact that 1 year ago we was marching down this street, marching down Auburn Avenue. They had us marching up and down the street. They had us marching to the church. They had us marching to the King Center. They had us marching to City Hall. They had us marching up and down 5 Points, right? And they played us like some damn fools, didn't they? You had all the notable celebrities last year. Hold on, I need them to hear this one time. We had all these notable celebrities last year, right? Because last year was the flavor of the month, right?
Right.
Last year was the flavor of the month, right?
Yeah.
You had Ben Jealous last year, right? Huh? Where you at now? Huh? You had Al Sharpton last year. Huh? Where you at now? You had Jimmy Carter crusty ass talking. Where you at now? Huh? None of them nowhere to be found. In fact, they act like they don't even know Troy Davis died. They don't even know he was assassinated. Because last year, it was the flavor of the month. Last year we had hundreds of thousands of people, right? Marching up and down the street. We thought we took a trip back to the 60s, right? When the Trayvon Martin case went down, everybody had some hoodies and some damn Skittles, right?
Right.
But when it's no longer fashionable, we can't find certain people, is that right? They said only the strong will survive, is that right? Now I know some of y'all don't like how I'm talking, but I really don't give a damn. Because reality is reality. And the fact is that they're going to keep gunning us down in the street. They're going to keep murdering us and locking us up. The prison system is a $4.5 billion industry. Did y'all hear what I said? Yeah. A $4.5 billion industry. A few days ago, they put out a picture talking about a $126 billion picture. They had people like Oprah. They had people like Warren Buffett. They had, what's that other fool named? Bill Gates. And they talked about how altogether they were worth $126 billion, right? Here in America, here on this planet, we have 7 billion people on the planet. Let's do the math with this thing right here. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't have to be no major mathematician. But you have 7 billion people on the planet, right? You have 12 people with $126 billion. You have 1 billion people starving on the planet at this time. And we say this is justice, that's what capitalism gives you, right? None of the people I named gave a damn about nobody named Troy Davis.
Right.
I know some of y'all gonna say, well, Oprah employs a lot of people. I don't give a damn about that. We're not here for all of that. We're talking about justice. There's people starving in Chicago. There's over 30,000 people starving here in the city of Atlanta, right? Yep. We have homeless. Last year, we took over this park. And the city allowed us, they allowed the Occupy movement to stay out here for several months. Is that right?
Yeah. Right.
Until your mayor that y'all voted for decided to rain on it. Is that right?
True.
How many of y'all voting for him again?
Hell no.
If you're quiet, that means you vote for. Anybody voting for Mayor Kasim Reed?
No. Hell no.
Are y'all scared? No. Anybody voting for Kasim Reed?
Hell no.
How many of y'all voting for Obama?
Hell no. Hell no.
Now I know some of y'all talk about, well, you know, we'd rather have Obama than Mitt Romney. There's not a problem with who's in the office. The problem is with the system. You understand what I'm saying? And when you say that you agree with these politics, you basically saying, I agree with what these people are saying. You're saying, look, I don't want to get raped. I want to be kissed and fondled, but I still don't want it. That's how this government goes, right? Capitalism is the reason why Troy Davis was murdered. Racism was the reason why Troy Davis was murdered. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the fact that you had a racist governor who wanted to see him gone. You had a racist warden who wanted him dead. You have a racist police department. And I want y'all to understand something here today. When I say a racist police department, I'm not just saying that you just have to be a white police officer to be racist.
All right.
You have black people that hate being black more than white people hate seeing us being black. And that's a damn fact. Your mayor,
Worst one.
that coward, he sit back and did not say a peep. Now some of you may say, well, he didn't have any power to say anything. We didn't have no power to say anything either. But they say it's powers in numbers, is that right?
Yeah.
Look here, man, you gotta be on the right side of history. You can't just come out here and mobilize. Mobilizing is good, but organizing is the key to it.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is everybody woke tonight?
Yeah.
We still Troy Davis?
Yeah.
I am.
Troy Davis.
I am.
Troy Davis.
I am.
Troy Davis.
We are.
Troy Davis.
We are.
Troy Davis.
We are.
Troy Davis.
Are we going to sit back and allow these cowards to continue to murder us?
Hell no.
Are we going to sit back and allow them to
Just-
come in and rain on our communities?
No.
Attack the poor?
No.
Look, y'all, we really have to stand together. I know that some of y'all think that we can get together for these little temporary moments. We can no longer be moved by sensationalism. Our problem is we move when it's fashionable. The days of fashionable militancy is gone. If you say you're an organizer, you got to do more than just come out with damn bandanas over your face and talk loud. If you say you're an organizer, you got to say more than F the police. You have to know the politics of liberation.
That's right.
You got to understand that when we move, we have to move as a unit. And if we move separately, we'll continue to be murdered and beat down. Now I'm happy to see, I got to be a realist because I'm about African liberation. And I don't make no apology for that. I'm happy to see young white comrades out here.
All right.
Right? I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see comrades of all different colors and persuasions out here, from all different communities. But again, we have to hold our people accountable. We just can't organize in certain communities. We had certain organizations last year that did not want to go to certain types of communities. You cannot organize the masses without going into the hoods of America.
Right.
You can't say you're organizing if you're not going into the hoods of America.
Right.
You can't say you're for justice. I'm talking to my white friends now. If you're not talking to your family, friends, and relatives as well. Huh? Am I saying anything wrong?
No.
We can't just say, okay, we're going to organize poor and oppressed people, but we don't tell some of these other fascist bastards that live next door to us that they have to get involved as well. There's only two sides, and you have to determine what side you on. Either you're on the side of what's right or you're on the side of what's wrong. There ain't no gray area. There's no in between. This country is built on bloodshed. They murdered the natives of this land. They took the wealth of this land. And then they talk about they worked for it. Everything that America has was stolen from every damn body else.
That's right.
From the Constitution to the White House.
That's right.
When y'all hear folks talk about reparations, sometimes y'all think, well, you know, well, that happened so long ago.
Hell no. What happened today?
If you are benefiting off the blood of our ancestors, if the resources that you live off, those stolen resources, if you live off of them, then by default you're receiving stolen goods.
That's right.
Now if I take something from you and I give it to this man over here, you're going to take it back from him because he received stolen goods. Is that right? This country needs to be taken back and be put back in the hands of those who had it before some of us were here.
Damn right.
Now I know some people don't like that because of the fact that it's not comfortable. America wasn't built on comfort. The only people comfortable in America is the slave holders. And slavery's not dead.
Truth.
It's called the prison system right now.
That's right. That's true.
You have over 6 million people locked up in America at this state of time. And yet we walk around talking about things have changed. Yeah, they changed all right. They changed slave masters. I'm not going to get too carried away because I can and I will. But I'm going to pass the megaphone to some of these people out here tonight that represent different organizations. Is everybody still all right? You still with us?
Yeah.
I am. I am. I appreciate this. So I see my good brother Jamoke from Cobra. Since we talking about reparations, and we're going to ask him to come have some words. Now some more of y'all out there that I'm going to ask to come up to this police right here. Don't try to hide because we will come get you. Give it up for our brother Jamoke, please. Greetings, family. Greetings, family. Brother Jamoke, representing COBRA, the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. Sister Taliba Broomfield, the female co-chair of the Atlanta chapter. Kind of put me on the spot here, but we're glad to stand here on behalf of people who stand up for injustice in America. We're going down to Savannah tomorrow, and we're going to be a part of a organization that they're building giving people tools to help them to continue to plan and to continue to organize to get justice in this country, to end the death penalty in Georgia and in this country. And I give some recognition for that, to end the death penalty in Georgia and in the United States. Y'all didn't hear me. I said, why are we standing here for Troy if we're not talking about ending the death penalty in the United States and in Georgia specifically? And also we're going to be looking at other things dealing with the criminal justice system and how to move forward. So, you know, I shared with people last year when we were here for Troy Davis, I said, we'll know who's serious by who continues to do this work. I said it last year this time, we'll know who's serious by who's still here doing this work. And so all of you all are here, and we're here, we're letting you know we're serious, and we see you, we see that you're serious. So we thank you for your time. Reparations, to be clear, we're talking about healing. Reparations, we're talking about justice. We're talking about what it is that needs to be repaired in this country. What is it that you need to be repaired? What is it that this society needs to be healed, to be repaired? That's reparations. It's really a conversation that encompasses everything. Whether we're talking about health, whether we're talking about education, whether we're talking about the criminal justice system, whether we're talking about death penalty, whether we're talking about AIDS, whatever we're talking about that affects people, that there needs to be addressed as a healing, it comes under the umbrella of reparations. What is it that we need to do to heal ourselves and repair ourselves? So we stand here in solidarity with you today. We thank Brother Kalanji for bringing us together, for being on this fight for a long time. And since I've known him, been working for our people. And so we give thanks to come in solidarity with you today. And pass it on to Sister Taliba.
Reparations now!
Reparations now!
Reparations now!
Reparations now!
Reparations now!
Reparations now!
I am Troy Davis.
I am Troy Davis.
Yeah, I just want to let you all know, if you want to know more about Cobra and how to know more about reparations, we are going to have our conference here in Atlanta, Georgia, 2013, June 2013, and you all are welcome to come and join us as we fight for our land. Free the land!
Free up every couple seconds of what, man? Y'all better keep this momentum. Anybody out there with me? Yeah.
Can I get y'all to lead now? Can I get y'all to lead? I am. Y'all kind of slow tonight, man. Y'all gotta take the C's out. I am. I am. All right, cool. Coming up next, this next woman right here is one of the most hardest working activists I know. And I always say she's probably one of the most organizers that I know in the city of Atlanta. If we ever doing a rally, a march, a beat down, anything, she got the gloves, the thumbtacks, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And she's always on point. I want y'all to give it up for Diane Mathewitz from the International Action Center.
Brothers and sisters, think back 1 year ago. At 7 o'clock when we started this rally, Troy Davis was scheduled at that time to die. Then for 4 hours, thousands of people, perhaps millions of people, around the country, around the world, held their breath, hoping that the Supreme Court, that somebody, some power that be, would let Troy live. At 11:08, Troy Davis was killed, murdered by the state of Georgia, but murdered by the capitalist system. That's right. Murdered by a racist injustice system. That's right. And I just want to say, in the few minutes I've got here, that Troy had a message for us, literally with his last words. He said that we had to continue the resistance. That's right. He said in his last letter to his supporters that it was up to us to dismantle this unjust system, city by city, county by county, state by state. And that is the task. Troy Davis was just one. He is just one of the millions incarcerated in this country behind bars, held in solitary confinement, beaten by guards, deprived of medical care, deprived of books, deprived of personal hygiene products, deprived of food, and deprived of visits from their families. He was just one of millions. We have a big task. But as Troy was totally confident that the people could overcome, that the people's resistance would defeat this injustice system, that the people's resistance would end this prison system that is nothing but concentration camps for the poor. Think of that. Concentration camps for the poor, down the street, up the block, all over this state of Georgia. And in the moment we have had heroic prisoners inside those walls go first on a work stoppage in December 2010 and shut down Georgia's prison system with the largest prison strike in the history of this country. And they were calling out like the Attica brothers of decades before, saying, "We are men, we are not animals. We deserve to be treated with respect. We deserve to be treated and given human rights." Those brothers, many of them now, have been held in solitary confinement since that time. 18 months, some of them. In a small cell, no windows, where it's cold, then it's hot. Where guards shove the food under the door. Where the trays have feces and bug stuff and gosh knows what else. 18 months, those brothers who took a stand against the Georgia prison system have been on a hunger strike, first for 45 days, and they're on a hunger strike again. The IEC and all the organizations that have worked on Troy's case, have worked against the death penalty, must now unite with one mighty fist and tear these walls down and end this system forever. Thank you.
Diane Mathewitz. Give it up again for Diane.
All right.
Let's see what we got together now. We are.
We are.
We are. got any problems with me? See her. I want y'all to give it up for our sister from WRG, Professor Rod Kinsey.
Peace and love, family. How's everybody? That doesn't quite sound right to me. Peace and love. How's everybody? All right. Well, give thanks. First, want to give thanks to the Most High for having us all out here. Give thanks to Troy Davis and his family. And give thanks to all of you for being out here. Give thanks to Brother Kalani for pulling everything together. I had planned to just be here in support, but Brother Kalani asked me to have a few words, and I will. As I've been here, I've noticed we're here in solidarity, but we got a whole lot going on. So if I can just, and you all can just indulge me for a moment, if everybody please close your eyes, please, and stop your side conversation. And just remember where you were, what you were doing this time last year. I believe it was Thursday. Yesterday's day, but today, last year, what were you doing? Where were you? How were you feeling? What was going through your mind? What was going through your heart, your spirit? I remember being down there as we all were rallied, praying, a lot of us hoping, chanting, doing whatever it was that we could find to do to see that Troy would not be executed, to see that Troy would not be assassinated.
Outside of that, it would be a waste of time.
Yet still he was. So we understand what kind of system we are dealing with. We are not dealing with the system where you can hope and pray and wish. Clearly that is not going to help. But you've got to be fired up, people. I see us out here, and we're here, and we're fired, but we ain't fired up.
What is that? Why do they never?
Is it just because it was a year ago? It's over. Troy is gone, so it's still there. It's still important, but we're not fired up. We can't let it falter. We can't let it go. But as we are, of course, listening and our eyes are open now, we've thought about where we were, what we were doing. How many of us out here are college students? Anybody? Anybody a current college student? A few? A few? A few? That's not good. Historically, our movements have been fueled and have been energized by college folks who have that energy and that fire to get it moving.
It's inevitable, right?
We need our young people out here. As a professor, I know that our young people want to do more, but we got to tell them how to do it. We got to show them what to do. We got to bring them out here. Don't lay the foundation for us. Those college students who had no fear, who just knew something needed to be done. Now, it's not saying you've got to be in college in order to be down. Absolutely not. But we've got to rally our young people because they are the ones who have that energy and just who have that fire to get things moving and get things going. So I admonish any of you who are college students, make sure that your college campuses know what's going on. Get your friends, get your colleagues, get your classmates. You all get together and get things moving. That's how we have done in this country historically. So if we see that it has already worked, let's keep it working in that means. So next time we are out here for whatever the case may be, I would like to see more college students, more college movement and organization going on. So I'm going to put that on your mind. Hopefully you can work with that. And I'm going to go ahead and say give thanks and pass it back to Brother Kalani. Give thanks, y'all.
No reparations. No peace. No justice. No peace. No reparations. No peace. No justice. No peace. No reparations. No peace. Got the message. And we need to spread that and get that down to the street because that is what it's all about. Reparations will wipe the whole slate clean. Yes, we need to fight for no police brutality. Yes, we need to fight for emptying the prisons. Yes, we need to dismantle the unjust system. But we don't need to go about this one at a time. Reparations will wipe the whole damn slate clean. And that's what we must strive for. 2013 we've got the National Convention of Incorpora coming right here in Atlanta. We need everybody on board with that. Everybody. 2014, we've got an international conference on reparations. All the leaders around the world have been working on reparations, from Haiti to the Congo. We'll be here in Atlanta. We need you on board with that. No justice, no reparations, no peace. There be paid men, trained to act like made men.
That's another thing.
They profile and arrest men. More often than not, they be us men. So don't be fearful men, but be careful men. And confess then. Who be the best men? They who test men, or they who best the best test of men? Press against all odds, then impress men. Suppress men who oppress men, then suggest them that after the old and the new comes the next test of men. That not all men be boys made to men. Some be born again 7 times men. Torn from the matrix by sages sent to warn men. That the best men, I said the best men, I said the best men, I am the best man, I am the best man, I am must protect the womb of men. Ashe.
Give that to our good brother Boudouin. Stand here in the middle of downtown Atlanta, in which they call a Black Mecca, which they're right for calling it the Black Mecca because Mecca's a desert. As we sit here in the middle of Atlanta, one of the cities that's supposed to be one of the most progressive cities in the world, which we know better from being citizens here. There are hundreds of brothers and sisters who are locked down behind enemy lines. There are hundreds of brothers who are political prisoners right here in the United States. I'm not talking about Guantanamo Bay. I'm talking about Pelican Bay. There are hundreds of brothers and sisters who are in Angola. I'm not talking about Angola, Africa. I'm talking about Angola, Louisiana, who are being tortured, beaten, and brutalized. They have folks like Imam Jamil Alameen, formerly H. Rap Brown, who's on 23.5-hour lockdown. They have folks like Dr. Matulu Shakur. They have folks like Sundiata Akoli, Sekou Odinga. Many brothers who they've tortured and beaten. They have the Move 9. Plenty of sisters who have been tortured and beaten. We have to stop this criminal prison industrial complex. The real criminals that should be jailed are what y'all call the 1%. Mitt Romney should be in a jail cell. Newt Gingrich should be in prison. Obama should be in jail. Because they all criminals. Now I know some of y'all want to get emotional and say, well, we got a black president.
Half black.
I've been arrested 7 times and 6 times been by black police officers.
Now speak,
I've gotten into physical altercations where they attack me and charge me with assault and battery on a police officer. Just because they ran their head into my fist, they charged me with assault. I was minding my business. This is how they do us. They beat us down. We get reports of them sticking screwdrivers up the behind of youth in the streets looking for drugs. They're strip searching on young kids, young babies, right in the middle of the streets. We don't know that type of stuff is happening because of the fact that there is no CNN for us. There's no Fox News for us. All of that is corporate industry. If you believe that this prison system is unjust, I need y'all to say free them all. 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 It's a crime and a disgrace for criminals to lock up innocent men and women. Coming to the megaphone next, we have a brother that represents the Sovereign Haiti Initiative. For those that don't know, Haiti, or Haiti, was the first area where our Africans rebelled. That's right. Yeah. Successfully. Where the French invaded and got that ass whooped. That is why to this day they create these man-made earthquakes. That is why these NGOs go in there and try to take over. That's why clowns like Wyclef Jean set up these fake organizations. That's right. While we out here talking about Troy Davis, Wyclef is over in the West End signing books. We say the hell with a Wyclef and his books. His family was responsible for overthrowing Aristide. But they don't want y'all to know that. Y'all thought Yele just came along out the blue. They was like, hey, we here. You know, it was an earthquake. That's the Haitian version of the Red Cross. And you know they criminals. I want y'all to give a strong round of support for our brother Will from the Sovereign Haiti Initiative.
Thank you. In the name of Troy Davis, I thank you guys for coming here tonight for the murder that happened here in America. That was a travesty of justice that we should not stand for. Again, if we are Troy Davis, you guys gonna stand here and listen to what I'm gonna say. They're not gonna sound pretty. One of the reasons why I like when Kalonji speaks is because he doesn't say the thing that we want to hear. He has to say the things that are difficult to hear, so we can actually wake up and do the right thing. I remember a year ago, we came here in this park. I thought there was going to be a revolution. Be it by a genetical memory of my ancestors, I thought we were onto something. I came to occupy Atlanta. I said, this movement has something. I don't know what it is exactly, but they were onto something. But we are letting that dream, that hope, that fire die without doing anything. I'm not here just because we occupy Atlanta. I believe in the Occupy movement, but I'm a little skittish about Occupy Atlanta. I always like to let that be known. The revolution that happened in Haiti was an African revolution. It was not a Haitian revolution. Right. Anyone who's of African descent, yes, the light-skinned ones too, you're African. Okay? If you say it was a Haitian revolution, you have limited the struggle of these people who died for freedom. Much like an occupier, if you believe that the fought for freedom, the days that I was arrested here and get brutalized by the police officers, you will not stand for the murders of the prison system that we have going on here in America, the enslavement system. You will stand up and fight for it. You will stand up. We as the light-skinned ones, you'll be the ones in the forefront to fight for racism. See, racism is not a black issue. We didn't start it. If I owe a debt in America, my children can inherit my debt. If your ancestors enslaved and killed, you have inherited their debt. Repay now. Reparation by actions, not slaction. I don't want you to slack and say, well, we come to occupy Atlanta. I'm about reparation because I'm Haitian, I'm African. So if anybody, light skin or dark skin, is really about it, you want to talk about revolution, standing against the status quo, standing against the injustice, standing against the typical business as usual, where the 1% gets to control the wealth of the world while 99% is in total squalor, then you will be for reparation. Then you will be against the jail system. Then you will speak for other Troy Davis, like Troy Davis who died, who was assassinated. Okay? So I'm not here to say the things that you want to hear because it sounds pretty, because I am behind this bullhorn. Thank you for the opportunity for speaking, but we must be more about just pep rallies and come here for a pep rally to hear some good words, and we go home and be about our business as usual. So long that some of us got the government cheese coming in, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Coca-Cola, we say, okay, I'm good. We don't care about the next homeless person dying, sleeping in the street, okay? While we occupy our homes, we're afraid to actually squat in them until the police come. The bank doesn't need a house until we in them. I've been in Atlanta for 4 years. I can point out to you several homes that are still abandoned, but try to get in one of them. That's when the bank will need it. We can repair these homes ourselves and take over. We're not here to see the survival of a system that's been oppressing us together. We have to unite. Light-skinned ones or dark-skinned ones, Africans or Europeans, if you really thought about it, you will know that what happened in Savannah, Georgia, was not supposed to be something that was supposed to happen. You will know that you will be the image we got to use to be in the forefront. Because we sit here idly by and did nothing. It was not enough. That's why I consider it nothing. Because we did not write in this, because some people like to actually write it down what civil disobedience is. Diversity of tactics. What the hell is that? What the fuck is that? What the hell? There's no such thing as diversity of tactic. There's tactic. But we gotta start thinking strategically, surgically, to actually use those images against them. Because that's what they do to us. Why are we not in this park today? 1 year after I occupied Atlanta, I didn't see what the big deal was because we did nothing to show them that we're going to be back and stronger than we were before. Okay? So I don't say the pretty things people like to hear sometimes. I say the realities of things that I see happening right now. We have been over-pacified. We have politicians. We have past civil rights leaders who are serving as deal breakers to over-pacify us. Go home, we just break a good deal with them, just go home. Don't protest. Don't take the street, don't cause riot. Then if we can't do all these things, we're never gonna turn heads. You can sit in the park and do the hippish thing all you want. If you're not hurting the pocket of the system, the bank system, they're not gonna turn heads. But if I'm doing the hippie thing, I'm gonna get arrested for it, bring on the weed. Because I'd like to get some bring on the weed. Because I'm not going to get to jail anymore just for any cause. That's why I've not been to occupy Atlanta anymore. Because I'm getting arrested while somebody's going to brush aside the ideas, the strategic thing that we actually have to do for security, to secure ourselves, to protect ourselves. The mass strategy meeting that we always do, it's not going to solve anything. It's called mass strategy meeting. How much strategy can you get from the mass, really? You strategize and you put the objective to the people with a good, well thought out plan on how the plan should go. Those that are for will follow. Those that are not for, stand aside, let us do our job. So let's not be about here, we sit down and listen to a good speech. We think we are activists, but we are slacktivists, because we are slacking. We think we are Pan-Africanists, but why are we not penning anywhere left or right? We think we are black liberation, but who are we liberating? Okay? We think we are movements. Where are we moving to? For what we're moving? Let's not let the sensationality of things move us. Let's move because we know the cause is for justice, and justice is needed everywhere we see there's injustice. Because one man said it best, right? By any means necessary, I'm going to start with him first, Malcolm X. Injustice anywhere is injustice. Injustice everywhere. What happens to Troy Davis right now, Trayvon Martin, all these young black men that are dying in the streets can happen to you. But you don't care. Why you don't care is not yet your son. So I'm not going to come here and hold a sign just for Troy Davis. I want to see Jokevi's staff right here. I want to see Aristide. I want to see a mural of all these men and women that have been killed, that have been shot. I want to see all the prisoners that have been imprisoned wrongfully. Those prisoner of wars that we have going on right now, those political prisoners, I don't see pictures of them. We got to speak on their behalf. Not just one man at a time, all of them each time. All of them each time. Because Trayvon Martin, who's speaking about Trayvon Martin anymore? Who's speaking now about Chuck Davis who died at this Malta station? How much have we heard the pocket of Malta? What have we really done that you can stand here and contend with yourself on behalf of Troy Davis? We let the man die because we didn't have the balls. They tested us, black people especially, with Troy Davis. Let's see how much we're gonna shove down their throat to see if they're gonna ride the hell out of this fucking country. We couldn't do that. As a Haitian, I said you guys are not ready. When you guys are ready, let me know because I'm willing to die today, tomorrow, anytime. Because once you start revolting and start representing a threat to the system, they will bomb our neighborhoods. Just like they do for the moves, for the Deacon of Defense. When you start becoming a threat to the system, that's when you can turn heads. Until then, you guys are not ready. You guys are a bunch of children, hippies, who just want to play activists, who just want to play movements, liberators, who just want to play occupiers, but are not willing to pay the price or the consequences for that freedom we want. Until then, I am Troy Davis. We are Troy Davis. But are we really Troy Davis? Thank you.
Hey, now some of y'all sitting around like I don't know what dude talking about. You know what the hell he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And what he was doing was speaking the truth. I appreciate this brother because he's a young brother. He's younger than me. You understand what I'm saying? And he's out here representing. He's not just representing what's going on over in Haiti. He's representing what's going on right here. Some of you folks are so damn cowardice that the hell with talking about Africa. You won't even talk about what's going on down the street from you. We have Katherine Johnson, a 92-year-old who was gunned down right here in Atlanta, and most folks forgot that she even existed. Where in the world can you gun down a white 92-year-old woman and people get away with that? Huh?
That's the truth.
A couple weeks ago, about a month ago, they beat down a Kroger manager out in, what was that at? Union City. And Union City damn sure ain't pretty. Out in Union City, a Kroger manager beat down a 72-year-old man. A 72-year-old man. And it was no uproar.
Giving out food.
For giving out food. He didn't commit any crime. Did not commit a crime. If I spit in front of a 27-year-old white woman, there'd be lynching.
That's right.
And that's the truth.
That's right.
Some of y'all don't like it, but goddamn it, that's how it is. I didn't make these rules. Unfortunately, I've been forced to live by it. Now, I want to say to y'all, when I speak, I try not to be apologetic because of the fact that no one apologized to my ancestors.
That's right.
No one apologized to the women who got their bellies cut open and the babies snatched out of their wombs and stomped. Nobody apologized to our ancestors who were tarred and feathered. Nobody who apologized for the slaves, the Africans who were auctioned off right here in this damn park where we standing right now. Nobody apologized for that. So I'll be goddamn if I apologize for anything I say. And if I offend anybody tonight, will you stand offended? Coming to the stage next. This sister represents Afri-Salsa because of the fact we started off with a little bit of culture with the drums. We had the spirituality with libation. And within our African selves, we have that dance and that energy. So we have a solidarity statement from our good sister now to give it up to Ananda from Afri-Salsa, please.
All right, I am. All right, now I see some people not responding. And let me tell you what happens when you pull it up from here and you bring it out here. I said here and bring it out here. It's a physical, emotional, spiritual, powerful thing. So I need everybody to take your hand, put it in the air. Come on, participate. This matters. It matters. It's okay. It'll be over in 2 seconds. All right. Put your hand right here. Put it right here. All right. This is your I can area. For those who don't know the affirmation in this area, I want you to say, I am Troy Davis. Again. Come on. We got it. Somebody talked about some missing testicles earlier. Either way, this is where I Are you sure? Yeah. How do you know? Where did it hurt? Point it. I can see my contact prescription is current. Point it out. Where did it hurt? Show me. Point. Where? You know what happens? You get tired of hurting. So you suppress it. You push it down, you get numb. So I argue that there's no difference between us and the lawmakers. You know why? Because they suppressed a long time ago. They were taught to suppress. They're numb. Anybody else numb? Oh, y'all sounding kind of numb. Anybody numb? Are you sure? Yeah. You know how to? I know it. I'm in court. It destroys us. Get that energy out, girl. All right, listen. I just want y'all to know that in order to deal with the fear that's in your body, you have to find a way to bring it out so it's channeled in a positive way. I also am the Director of Communications at the Davis Bozeman Law Firm. I don't know if you know about our law firm, but we are representing 73-year-old John Young. And he is the gentleman that the Kroger manager body slammed, bust his eye open. He has this wonderful charity that now cannot deliver the way it used to those in need. This big, burly, racist Kroger manager came out and body slammed this guy. 73 years old on the ground, so his head bust open, re-injured his bad shoulder, and who cares? We care. Let me tell you why it's hard to care. Because, do I have another story to tell about someone else that was injured? Yeah. Can I give you 5 stories? Yeah. Can I give you 10? Who's tired of it? What do you do when you're tired? What? That's not true. Everybody doesn't do anything about it. What do you do when you're tired? You go to sleep. How do you talk to somebody who's asleep? Wake him up! Because we all don't have the same answer, because we don't have an answer, is why we're standing here with some pissed off revolutionary leaders wondering what's going on. You got to wake up. If the drum wakes you up, let that drum play. If coming to a rally wakes you up, come to as many rallies as you can. You don't want to be asleep, because if you're asleep, it's over. I don't want to stay long. My name is Anana Pass. I'm with Afro Salsa. I pray you find an African dance class in Atlanta. I pray you find a salsa class. I pray you find anything that will what? Wake you up. Tatiana Lima, what happened? Anybody know about her story? I want to be here to let you know that there was victory in that story. Y'all know that story? If you don't know, you need to find out. Because all the painful stories, you need to investigate the successful liberation stories that are going on. You understand? You can't live in misery. You've got to fuel yourself with the drum, with the Tatiana, with the whatever helps you stay awake. Because if you're asleep, you're in trouble. Ashe.
Give it up for our good sister Nana again. Anybody tired? Anybody tired? One of our ancestors said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Freddie Lou Hayward. Of folks that are pushing for the Georgia hunger strikers. Y'all know it's a strike going on right now, a prison strike? Yeah. Y'all know about that? Yeah. Okay, it's like only the people over here know about it. That ain't cool. Well, all the folks that know about it over here need to come over here and tell us about it. So we're gonna have Kevin come up in a minute. Kevin like, man, I don't like to do that. Matter of fact, we're gonna have give it up for Kevin right now from 8 different organizations.
Hey, y'all doing all right? Yeah. So, how many people here knew about the first Georgia prisoner strike? Woo! Lasted 47 days. 47 days without food. Now, those prisoners who met with the warden of Jackson Prison, this is the same prison where they murdered Troy Davis. That's right.
These prisoners met with this warden. His name's Carl Humphrey. He's a real sleazeball, okay? Like third generation corrections officer. That means his like great granddaddy was like Jim Crow era like correction guard. Real messed up. He promised the prisoners all these. He promised them like access to healthcare and hygiene.
Yeah, I didn't realize it.
There's prisoners that have been sitting in solitary confinement right now that got beat down for organizing the first prison strike in 2010. And they've been sitting there needing medical attention since that time in solitary confinement. Carl Humphrey has not met any of the promises that he made, including like proper hygiene and like medicine, medical attention. So the prisoners are now back on hunger strike, including a bunch of prisoners who couldn't hunger strike before because of Ramadan. So we need to support them and we need to end mass incarceration.
Get up for Kevin, he's one of the hardest working cats out here. Kevin is our official liaison. He makes sure that everything's right, everything's okay. Like lunch, everything good. You know, you're not gonna beat anybody up today. That's all good, Kev. So Kev, make sure everything's good on that side of the fence. Coming up next, we have one of our brothers from Guerrilla Republic. My good brother Rob Love. He's gonna give a few words of solidarity as well for Guerrilla Republic.
How's everybody doing right now? I'm Rob Love. I represent Guerrilla Republic. We work hand in hand with FTP and everybody out there that's just making a difference. I really don't know where to start or to say. I mean, how many times are we going to be out here for the same situation? You know what I'm saying? It's like Troy Davis, is Katherine Johnston, is Sean Bell. It's so many names that, I mean, when are we going to do more than just be sad? You know what I'm saying? When are we going to be more than just emotional? And a controlled emotion is, if we're going to get emotional, then we need a controlled emotion. You know, so I mean, we see we got presidents, you know, Mitt Romney and Obama. Nobody's talking about Troy Davis. Nobody's talking about what's going on in the hood. Me personally, I don't vote. I don't think the vote outside of a local level has anything to do with us. You know, all I can say is, man, we got to re-educate the children. We got to re-educate the youth. We have to re-educate ourselves. We have to get past what we don't have in common and realize what we do have in common. And everybody out here, what we have in common is poverty. What we have in common is lack of spousal support, lack of education, lack of monies, lack of everything. So we need to come together as a people. You know what I'm saying? This color thing, I mean, it ain't 1965 no more. Everybody's starting to realize that when you poor, you poor. It ain't white poor, it ain't black poor, it ain't Puerto Rican poor. When you poor, you don't have, you don't have. So when the have-nots start coming together, and you know what I'm saying, if I might have some beans and you got some rice, and she may have a little bit of chicken, we got some food. And the key word in that is we. You know what I'm saying? It's we have to do, because there ain't no politicians out here. Where the politicians at? Where's the mayor at? Why he don't care? You know what I'm saying? Troy Davis is gone, but he's not. He's still with us, because here we are 1 year later, and it seems like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, how many times have you turned on the TV within that 1 year and you've heard of another young brother getting his brains blown out, getting shot in the back, dying in a police car, dying at the police station? Why isn't it that a black life matters? What is the price on a black life? Why don't black men matter? How come there is a pandemic of African American men living in the streets and don't nobody seem to see this? Don't nobody seem to care about the black men that's walking these streets, that's committing petty crimes so they can go to jail. They committing crimes to go to jail. At least in jail they can wash themselves and have some type of dignity in there. You know what I'm saying? When are we going to start caring? You know what I'm saying? Feed the people. You know, My man Kalanji's been doing this since 2003. This dude don't get no funding from no major institutions or nothing like that. This dude, we work together. I work for me, he works for him. Every Sunday, every other Sunday, we got sandwiches out here for people that could be us. I was homeless in LA, doing Feed the People. As a matter of fact, when I met Kalanji, I was just about to be homeless. I was living in my van. But it don't stop there if you wanted to. If you wanted to stop there, then it can. When you realize that you God, and when you realize that every word that you speak in your mind state dictates your next move, and you around here saying what all the negative shit that's going on with you, well, that's why the negative shit is going on with you, because you perpetuate it. You are the center of your universe. So when we start changing our mind state, and we start changing the way we talk, and we stop trying to do shit and start doing it, then we will see the results. I mean, I didn't expect to say anything, but I'm glad Kalanji brought me up here. We need unification. That's right. We need care. We need love. Yo, man, the planets are in alignment right now. They don't show you this on the news, but the world is out of order. The have-nots are not having it anymore. Every country in the fucking world outside of the United States is nutting the fuck up. And we around here jamming to Rick Ross and Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, and we give a fuck about what's going on in Kim Kardashian's life. That's what we posted on. They got us sitting down watching other people make it while we just dissipate. We got to get involved with ourselves. Not only do we got to get involved with ourselves, but we have to start getting involved with each other. Love is the ultimate warrior. Remember that. I am.
Give it up for my brother Rob Love. We are. We are. We are. I am. I am. It has been 1 year, as we stated earlier, since they assassinated our brother Troy Davis, right? Huh? None of y'all? I know some of y'all don't try to play with me, man. You know, I get real ugly out here. You know what I mean? Anyway, I am grateful to be out here with y'all again because it shows that y'all really are concerned with our livelihood, with our lives, with our people. And as my brother said, man, you know, it's gonna take more than just 1 or 2 of us to do this thing, man. Out here, I guarantee you, if I did a count, we probably have about 30 different organizations, right? At least. But it's a damn shame, out of 30 organizations, we all couldn't organize at least 30 people. Huh? Is that right or is it wrong? Or y'all just cool with what y'all got? We gotta do more than this, we gotta do better than this. Last year, like I said, we was marching those streets, we beat the pavements, we had to get new shoes every other week. We did more goddamn marching last year than Martin Luther King. It's a damn shame. And still, they murdered Troy Davis, right? And still, Trayvon Martin was murdered. The Trayvon Martin case, and we think that the Troy Davis case was something. The fact that they murdered Trayvon Martin, they let this clown out on bail. First of all, they didn't even want to arrest him. Then they let him out on bail. He violated, and they let him out on bail again. And no goddamn body talking about what happened to him now. Y'all forgot George Zimmerman's name. Can anybody tell me where George Zimmerman is now?
He's on trial, actually.
We don't even know if he's in the country right now. Why? Because his father was a magistrate judge.
That's right, in Virginia.
What you all fail to remember, part of the reason that Troy Davis's case was expedited last year was because the warden was a police officer in Savannah during that time that McPhail was murdered, was a pig during the time that Officer McPhail was murdered. You know, we are very sensitive when it comes to human life. That's just the way we were made. That's just the way we were created. But I sat back and I watched the McPhail family. I watched them for years before the Troy Davis case was popular. And the only thing they was concerned with was murder. They was concerned with executing somebody. They didn't care how many witnesses recanted their statements. They didn't care how the evidence was none. They didn't care about none of it. They didn't care about who petitioned. They didn't care about what the Pope said, what the former president said, none of that stuff. All they was concerned with was revenge. Tell me, how do you justify the murder of one person by murdering someone else? Only in America is that justifiable. Tell me how you can have over 1 million people petition against this atrocity and they still murder them in cold blood. People all over the world, y'all remember that, right? In France, in Kenya, in Japan, people everywhere, in England, in Australia, they stood up. People in Atlanta who never stood for nothing got involved. But still, to no avail, they didn't respect us. And they won't ever respect us until we decide to respect ourselves. The fact that we allow this rotten ass system to continue to exist is a testament of our weakness. The fact that we're still arguing about who do we elect, the crook or the criminal, who we want to rob us, Jesse James or Frank James. We don't give a damn if you midnight black or if you pale face. A criminal is a criminal. This whole system is out of order, as my brother said. And we gotta do something about it or we're gonna continue to die. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something that's real. I've never in my life liked marching. I was totally against marching. You couldn't make me march. You couldn't pull me down the street and pull a gun out on me and make me march. I thought our elders and our ancestors had lost their damn mind for marching. But I realized when I got older, it's a strategy in war. It's a strategy of war because you're educating other people when you march down the street. Now many of us are on these social networks, and you have a lot of these cowards who sit back and say, well, after y'all finish marching, what you gonna do? We're gonna do more than your sorry ass. Right. Sitting pushing buttons. We have to unite, and unification is more than just a word, y'all. On October 22nd, is everybody familiar with the October 22nd movement?
Yes, indeed. Stop police terrorism.
October 22nd is in honor of the Stop Police Terrorism movement. On October 22nd, we'll be back here in the same spot. And it's a whole bunch of different coalitions going down that day. We need you all to come back because of the fact that they're gunning us down in the streets regularly. Indeed, we love Troy Davis. And we miss his spirit. We miss the spirit of Martina Correa. We miss the spirit of Virginia Davis. But unfortunately, again, they're symbols of what's been going down for hundreds of years. And they're symbols of what will continue to go down for hundreds more if we don't do more than just sit here and complain. People who's doing the work for the Georgia prison strike. And we're going to support them because we out here in solidarity. I want y'all to know it was attempts made to separate this situation. That's right. It was attempts made for people to decide whether they're going to get with this or get with that. There is no separation of a movement. We will become victorious when the animal rights activists get together. That's right. We will become victorious when the environmentalists get together with us. We'll get together, we'll get this thing together when the feminists get together with us. Right. See, a movement, we gotta realize that it's one fight. We all fight the same goddamn criminals. Right. The problem is we're fighting in fragments. Right. And that is why we're not getting ahead. You got people who care more about the lives of a dog, and believe me, I'm pro-animal rights. But they're more concerned with the lives of a dog than they are an African walking down the streets of America. If we got half the leverage, if we got half the respect that Peter gave the animals, then we'll be doing better than we are right now. It's a damn shame that folks are marched in droves against some fur coats. But when brothers and sisters are gunned down in the streets of America, they ain't got no damn marching. We got to hold them all accountable. You can't say you for justice one place, and not be for justice somewhere else. Martin Luther King said what? A threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Is that right? Huh? So we believe in that. We can't just sit back and talk about believing in no goddamn dream when America's giving us a nightmare. We have to stand up as one. Give it up for our brother Salim, who's going to give us the closing word.
All right. So I was put on the spot to give you a little spoken word. Can I just speak my mind?
Go ahead. Speak your mind.
All right. What I have to say on this Troy Davis issue is something I came up with years ago when it was Tukey Williams. Forget the lawyers. Send mercenaries to bust down the prison walls. That's how I feel. Send mercenaries to bust down the prison walls and get them out. All right, who didn't hear me? All right. Run over.
Yes, indeed. Just had to do that real quick. Make sure y'all are awake, because the time is upon us where we're getting ready to make this trek down to the location of one of the greatest ancestors this city has ever seen, and this world has ever seen. If you don't believe me, y'all name one ancestor that's got roads named after him in every major city in a country as big as America. Can you think of one? Exactly. One and only Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So before I proceed with that, I'd be remiss if I didn't speak on one more issue that is so pertinent, I can guarantee you that every single one of us is affected by it every day. Let me ask you a quick question, my brother, holding the camera. Did you eat today? Yes or no? Okay, did you eat today, Brother Shabazz?
Yes, sir.
All of you over here, did you eat today? Did you all eat today? All of y'all ate today, correct? So now, why do I bring that up? This entire week, of course, which is not only the anniversary week of the beginning of the Occupy movement, is also a week that here in Atlanta and nationwide is called the Global Week of Action, i.e. Occupy Monsanto. How many of y'all are familiar with Monsanto? If you're not familiar with Monsanto, you might want to get familiar with it, because they're very familiar with you. How do I know that? Because they own 90% of the food that you all are consuming. 90%. So what does that mean? That means right now, every time a seed is planted in the ground in a rural area, and that farmer's plant grows, if it is a grape, it's supposed to have what in it? If it's a watermelon, it's supposed to have what in it? If it's a tomato, it's supposed to have what in it? If it's December, is that tomato supposed to grow? I know some of y'all don't know that one. And it's all right. We're going to teach you. I say all that to say, today we had a caravan of individuals in Georgia that manufactures and distributes Monsanto products. For those individuals who are old enough to have lived during the Vietnam War, this is the same company that poisoned your comrades with Agent Orange, because they were the manufacturer and creator of Agent Orange. For those of you who are from the 70s era and used to see Big Mama growing up